All right.
Coach.
Okay. Once again, just been a solid week of practice. Hopefully, we've made some improvement. We've worked hard to try to put our players in a position to be successful. Obviously, we know it's going to be a great challenge, but we embrace that. Our players have been in good spirits. We've worked hard, so just anxious to get rolling tomorrow and head that way and do our normal routine. We'll stop about halfway and do our run through and then move on and get into Knoxville.
Questions?
When your injury situation is what it is at this point, you sense younger guys, backups kind of rallying around and saying, like, this is our chance to go out there and prove it?
Yeah, I mean, they have their opportunity. So we'll see. Some younger guys will have a chance, and guys that step up. It's always next man up mentality, and that's what it is.
With De'Aaron out this week, is this the week you use Dave Rim's extra game? Or?
Possibly.
What do you see different from Tennessee this year as opposed to last year? Are they...
I think just you see the offense obviously coming along to where they want it to be, or getting that way. I mean, obviously they could strike at any moment. Again, much like last year, very physical, very good in the run game, and getting more and more explosive and more comfortable, with the big plays. I think the big thing is how good they are defensively. Very, very good football team, very disruptive and very strong. And they're deep. They're deep. So they have some big guys.
Does it start with the defensive line?
Yeah, without question. Yeah, very, very much so. Any great defense usually starts up front, and they're no different. I think they're very deep, they're very big, they're long, they're strong. They do a good job.
Brad said that after the Auburn game, the thing that surprised him was the way Auburn knocked them off, the defensive line off the ball, especially in the second half. Have you challenged? How do you think they've reacted to that? Your defensive line.
Yeah, I think we have to we have to play better. We have to play the best we can. I don't think at times we did that. Our pad level's got to be lower. We got to strain. We got to have guys in proper position. We just got to execute and play better. Sometimes it's you're getting gashed and you feel like it's like one guy out of position. You know what I mean? That can't happen. And through time, generally speaking, that doesn't happen to us a lot. I know this year it's been a bit of an exception at times, and we don't like that. And we got to get back to doing the things we can do and being better and being more fundamentally sound and doing things. And I think to Coach White's defense, I think when you get a little bit banged up when you're trying to start throwing things, you've heard me say that over the years. I've been there as a play caller. When you feel like you're trying to throw things at a wall, sometimes it doesn't always stick. And so we just got to be who we are and just be a better version of us. And we've proven we could do that. We just got to strain and play with great pad level and play all together and execute.
A couple of those guys missing Saturday, Derek and JJ, older guys, leader type guys. How do you replace that kind of?
There's no option. There's nothing I could say or do, or any of the coaches. We coach these guys hard. These other guys get reps, and they're prepared. It's their opportunity. They got to go play.
Mark, how's Brock responded this week?
Brock has been fine. Brock, really doesn't ever change his demeanor too much. He pretty much always just puts his head down, goes to work, and does the best he can.
Do you see the situation, though, with Gavin getting more reps, that it is closer to a 50-50, or is it kind of back to what you guys?
We'll see. I don't necessarily need to give that information away right now.
It's probably goes without saying, but every week you want the defense to score points, but just with how you talked about how Tennessee's defense is so tough, how beneficial would it be for your defense to get points?
Well, I'd sure like us just to play better. Obviously, turnovers are a big thing, and scores are even bigger if you could get that. But I'd like to see us take a big jump and be more consistent and be more, traditionally how we've played.
Mark, with Chip out again, has a red shirt been discussed? Because he'll be under the 4 regular season games.
Yeah, I'll discuss a lot of things with a lot of people next week.
Mark, you talk to the team about emotions at all? Obviously, they're going to run high with this being a rivalry game.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe
Yeah.
talk to him about that.
Yeah, I think, always, I mean, a SEC road game, will be a tough environment. I understand, I didn't see it, I don't really on social media, but I understand it was pretty cool that they got a blackout going and their fans have embraced it to, and I'm sure it'll be a hostile environment, and it generally is when you play on the SEC, particularly at night. So it'll be a challenge.
In the same way, though, one of your best games this year was on the road against the tempo team at Ole Miss. Can you gain anything from that experience early in the season?
I mean, I think you always try to gain some experience and learn, win or lose. You know what I mean, from previous experiences, and but just because we played good then doesn't mean anything. With this new challenge, new environment, new team, so we have to go do it again.
They talk about coaches coaching their own coaches, and I'm sure Bush is, frustrated and trying everything he can. I'm not talking about calling plays or anything like that, but how do you approach it? Like, how can I help Bush?
Yeah, I think that's a good question. I think it's really just, again, taking a good solid look at like who we are and what we can do. With his first year, obviously a very challenging, very tough time, and early on, I think he made that adjustment, and said, okay, this is who we can be to put ourselves in a position to be successful. I think there's always a balance there and a fine line, because we obviously want to progress for the future too, and the program wants to always go forward. But the number one objective right now is to go try to get a victory, but by any means necessary. And so I think he does a really good job that way and is smart. We know we have some shortcomings in some areas of concern, and some areas that we have to get addressed. Those are program things that I got to get fixed. And so but he's done a nice job of trying to adapt the best he can to what we can do.